Have you ever thought that your retirement years could be some of the most fulfilling years of your life? Do you imagine a future where your health is thriving, your happiness is abundant, and your relationships are stronger than ever? If this resonates with you, then you're exactly where you need to be. In this video, we're going to explore the essential habits and strategies that can help you not only age gracefully but also live a vibrant, joyful life, no matter where you are in life's journey. By the time you finish watching, you'll discover why investing your money in experiences rather than material possessions could be one of the smartest choices you'll ever make. We'll talk about the benefits of staying active and nurturing meaningful relationships, which can help extend your life. Plus, we'll dive into why decluttering isn't just about tidying up, it's about creating space for peace of mind and a sense of purpose. You'll also hear real-life stories and actionable tips that have helped countless people just like you transform their lives. From simple daily routines to improve your physical fitness to the power of sticking to a regular sleep schedule and even taking on new hobbies at any stage of life, these are the kinds of habits that will not only keep you healthy but also keep you deeply connected to the world around you. Stick around until the end because you'll walk away with practical tools and insights to make your retirement years some of the most fulfilling and joyful of your entire life. Before we get started, if you haven't subscribed yet, I'd love for you to do so and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. Your support means the world to me, and if you found this video helpful, please like and share it to help spread these life-changing lessons to others. If you enjoy this topic, leave a comment with 1 to let me know. If there's something you'd like me to improve or if you have suggestions for future videos, feel free to comment 0 so I can continue making better content for you. Now, let's dive into the journey toward a more fulfilling and meaningful retirement. 1. Smart use of money. I have a friend, Robert, who spent much of his life saving money with one goal in mind: to leave a large inheritance for his children. For years, he focused on accumulating wealth, convinced that his children would appreciate it in the long run. But now, in their late 80s, both Robert and his wife, Mary, find themselves looking back with a sense of regret. If we had taken a vacation or spent more on experiences, we would have enjoyed those years much more, Robert often reflects. Unfortunately, it's a lesson learned too late for him and Mary. On the other hand, when I received my retirement bonus at 60, I made a conscious decision to approach my finances differently. Instead of continuing to stash away money for an uncertain future, I decided to invest in experiences that would bring immediate joy and meaning to my life. Each month, I set aside a portion of my bonus, roughly $800, for experiences that truly enriched my soul. Weekend trips to local hot springs, pottery classes that reignited my creativity, and family dinners that brought us all closer together. These experiences have become some of the most cherished memories I hold dear today. Looking back, I realize that no amount of money can replace the richness that comes from living in the moment and creating lasting memories. The trips I took, the lessons I learned in those pottery classes, and the laughter shared around the dinner table with loved ones are priceless treasures that I wouldn't trade for anything. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that experiences, not possessions, are what truly enrich our lives, especially in our retirement years. 2. Stopping the comparison with others. My best friend, Jack, used to be constantly troubled by the seemingly perfect lives of our old classmates that he would see posted on social media. Every time he scrolled through Facebook, he would find himself comparing his own life to theirs. People traveling to exotic destinations, buying expensive cars, and living in large, luxurious homes. Jack was always feeling down about his situation, constantly saying that his pension wasn't enough to live the way he wanted. He would get stuck in this cycle of envy, believing he was falling short. But then, something shifted in Jack's life. One day, he decided to start spending his mornings doing something simple but fulfilling: cleaning up the local park. At first, it was just a way to get out of the house, but over time, his routine became something he truly looked forward to. The local community began to take notice, and people started appreciating his efforts. Kids in the neighborhood started calling him Park Jack, and he became a local figure who brightened the mornings for so many people. Over time, Jack found that this simple, selfless act gave him something money never could: purpose. Today, he says, it's not about money. I found something that makes me feel good, and that's more valuable than anything I could buy. His perspective on life completely transformed. He stopped comparing himself to others and realized that fulfillment didn't come from keeping up with the Joneses. It came from giving back, finding a way to be useful, and embracing a life that felt authentic to him. 3. Realizing new relationships. I've certainly felt the sting of loneliness, especially as I've gotten older. The quiet moments can sometimes feel overwhelming, and it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that meaningful connections require deep, lifelong friendships. But over the years, I've learned that even the smallest connections can have a profound impact on our lives. For example, during my morning walks with a group of dog-walking friends, I've found that those brief exchanges of hello and quick chats can brighten my day. I also enjoy the friendly smiles and small conversations I have with the cashier at my local supermarket. There's something about those little interactions that keep me grounded and remind me I'm part of a larger community. But the person who taught me a powerful lesson about relationships is a gentleman named Frank. Frank is 75 and has a routine that I admire. 3 times a week, he spends his afternoons reading stories to elementary school children at the local library. I've gotten to know him through my volunteer work at the library, and over time, he shared something that shifted my perspective on relationships. He said, "It's not always about having deep connections with a few people. It's about having connections where you can offer something meaningful to others, no matter how small." If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Frank's words resonated with me. He doesn't have a wide circle of close friends, but he's built meaningful connections through his actions simply by giving his time and attention to the children in his community. His example reminded me that the quality of our relationships isn't always about depth. It's about how we show up for others and the ways we can contribute, even in small ways. 4. Maintaining proper distance with children. This is a lesson I learned the hard way. When I first retired, I wanted to make sure that my children would be there for me as I aged, so I decided to give a large portion of my retirement bonus to my eldest son, Mark, and his wife, Sarah. I thought that by doing this, I was securing a future where they would care for me in my later years. I expected that they would take care of me, as I had always tried to take care of them. However, what happened next was not what I had anticipated. The gesture, meant to foster closeness, ended up creating a sense of distance. Instead of growing closer, we found ourselves unable to have the kind of open, free conversations we once had. Money had become an uncomfortable subject between us, and I realized that what I had hoped would bring us together had made things more strained. Looking back, I understand that sometimes the best way to maintain strong family ties is not through financial support but through emotional connection. Reflecting on this, I decided to approach my second son, David. Differently, I suggested to him and his wife, Emily, that we focus on nurturing our relationship by simply enjoying each other's company. We started having monthly dinners together. No discussions of money, just enjoying the time spent as a family. It was a refreshing change, and we quickly realized that these gatherings became something we all looked forward to. Today, my weekends are filled with the laughter of my grandchildren, as I've made it a priority to spend quality time with them. It has become the greatest joy of my retirement years. I've learned that sometimes the best way to maintain a loving, healthy relationship with your children is by giving them your time, not your money. And in doing so, I've found that the bonds I share with them are stronger than ever. 5. Working on maintaining muscle. One lesson I'll never forget came from a wise friend of mine, George. George is in his 80s now, but he's been a great source of inspiration for me ever since we met. He once shared with me a simple yet powerful analogy that stuck with me. Muscles are like a cup of water. As you get older, your muscles start to naturally decrease, just like water slowly evaporating from a cup. But if you keep adding water to the cup, it will never run dry. When I turned 60, I realized that this was something I needed to take seriously. I could see how easy it was for people to let their physical health slip as they got older, and I didn't want that to happen to me. I made the decision then and there to commit to regular exercise. Simple, manageable exercises that would keep my muscles strong and my body in good shape. Since that time, I've never missed my daily squats, even if it's just 10 or 15 minutes while I'm watching TV. I do 20 sit-ups as I catch up on my favorite shows, and I've turned to brush my teeth into an opportunity for exercise, doing 100 ankle lifts every morning. These small but consistent habits have made a big difference. I may not be running marathons, but thanks to these simple exercises, I can still go grocery shopping by myself, take long walks in the park, and play with my grandchildren without feeling out of breath or in pain. I've learned that keeping your muscles active doesn't require fancy equipment or intense workouts. It's about making small, sustainable movements a part of your daily routine. And with those little steps, I'm able to maintain a quality of life that's far more independent and fulfilling than I could have imagined. 6. Maintaining a regular sleep schedule. One of the most important habits I've developed over the years has been maintaining a consistent sleep schedule. Since I entered my 60s, I've made it a priority to go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. It may seem like a small thing, but the impact it's had on my overall health has been remarkable. I remember talking to my friend Dave about sleep a few years ago. He mentioned how, as people get older, they tend to stay up later at night and wake up later in the morning. It's something I've noticed among many of my peers, and I understand the temptation to sleep in or stay up late. But I've found that sticking to a regular sleep schedule, going to bed at the same time every night and waking up at the same time every morning, has been a key factor in maintaining my energy levels and mental clarity. Getting a good night's sleep isn't just about the number of hours you sleep, it's about the consistency of your sleep pattern. I've found that having a routine helps regulate my body's internal clock, which leads to better quality sleep. I wake up feeling refreshed and ready to tackle the day ahead rather than feeling groggy or sluggish. Maintaining a regular sleep schedule has also helped me with things like mood regulation and even my physical health. I'm less prone to those late-night cravings or feeling overly tired during the day. It's been a game changer for me, and I truly believe that regular quality sleep is one of the best secrets to staying healthy as we age. 7. Avoiding excessive effort with decluttering. When my wife Carol and I reached our 80s, we realized that our home, like our lives, had accumulated more than we truly needed. Over the years, we had kept many things, some of which held sentimental value, but others that just took up space. It wasn't that we had been hoarding, but we hadn't put much thought into simplifying our surroundings. Carol, being the practical one, decided that it was time to start organizing and decluttering. But rather than trying to tackle it all at once, she took a more gradual approach, organizing a little bit at a time each year. We made it a priority to keep only the items that were truly important to us. By letting go of the unnecessary things, we found that our home felt much lighter, more peaceful, and even more functional. It was as though shedding the clutter also cleared space in our hearts and minds, helping us focus on what mattered. It wasn't just about cleaning up, it was about creating an environment where we could enjoy the present without being weighed down by the past. One area that brought us a great sense of clarity was organizing our memories. Over the years, we have accumulated numerous photo albums and mementos from our travels, family events, and special moments. We realized that we didn't need to keep every single album or piece of memorabilia. So, we began digitizing the photos, saving the ones that captured the most meaningful memories. Now, whenever I want to share stories from the past with my grandchildren, I can easily pull up the digital albums and walk them through the history of our family. I've come to appreciate the value of simplicity in both our physical space and our emotional space. Decluttering isn't just about tidying up. It's about creating room for the things that truly matter, and it's something that has brought us both a sense of peace and purpose in our later years. 8. Eating the right amount. Over the years, my wife Carol and I have become much more mindful about what we eat, especially as we've entered our later years. One of the key changes we made was in how we portion our meals. We decided to adopt a simple guideline for ourselves. We'd aim for a hand-sized portion of meat or fish at every meal. It wasn't about restricting ourselves. It was about finding a balance that worked for our bodies and our health. At first, Carol was a little worried about the impact of eating meat regularly. She was concerned that it might cause me to gain weight or lead to other health issues. But over time, we both learned that eating moderate amounts of protein, especially from lean meats or fish, actually plays an important role in maintaining muscle mass, energy levels, and overall health as we age. Protein is essential for maintaining strength and keeping our bodies functioning well, and when consumed in the right amounts, it helps to support a healthy metabolism. We've also learned to listen to our bodies more and avoid overeating. It's easy to get into the habit of eating just because food is there, but we found that eating smaller, more balanced portions has made us feel more energized throughout the day. This simple approach to eating has allowed us to maintain a healthy weight and enjoy our meals without the guilt or discomfort that comes with overeating. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment below to let me know that you are still here with me. Now, we make sure to enjoy our food, savoring the flavors and appreciating the nutrition it provides. It's all about finding that middle ground, enough to nourish our body, but not so much that we're overloading ourselves. This practice has not only helped us stay healthy, but it's also brought a sense of peace and contentment to our meal times. 9. Challenging new hobbies. When I turned 60, I made a conscious decision to push myself out of my comfort zone and try new things. It wasn't always easy, and there were times I doubted myself, but I knew that embracing new hobbies could bring fresh energy and joy into my life. I decided to start by taking pottery and photography classes, two things I had always been curious about but never had the time to explore before. The pottery classes were a revelation. At first, I struggled with the wheel and couldn't quite get the shapes I wanted, but something about the process was deeply satisfying. The feel of the clay in my hands, the focus required to shape something from nothing, gave me a sense of accomplishment and peace. Over time, I became more skilled, and my work started to improve. I even had a piece of my pottery displayed at a local exhibition last year, something I never imagined would happen at my age. That moment, when I saw my work on display, was one of the most rewarding experiences I've had in years. Photography, on the other hand, allowed me to see the world through a different lens. Literally. I started capturing moments I had once overlooked, the intricate details of nature, the light playing on everyday objects, and the beauty in ordinary scenes. This new perspective not only increased my appreciation for the world around me, but also added a creative outlet that I never knew I needed. Taking on these new hobbies has brought a renewed sense of joy and fulfillment to my daily life. It's a reminder that it's never too late to try something new and that learning and growing don't have an expiration date. Whether it's pottery, photography, or any other passion you've been putting off, I've learned that challenging yourself to start something new can bring incredible satisfaction and keep your mind and spirit engaged. 10. Cherishing small joys. In my younger years, I was all about the big adventures, traveling to new places, dining at fancy restaurants, and experiencing everything life had to offer on a grand scale. I thought that these were the things that would make life truly fulfilling. But as I've grown older, I've come to realize that the greatest joys often come from the simplest moments. Now, I find myself looking forward to small, everyday pleasures that bring a sense of peace and contentment. My morning walks, for example, have become one of my favorite parts of the day. Something is calming about starting the day with a slow, peaceful walk around the neighborhood, taking in the fresh air and noticing the little things, like the way the light hits the trees or the sound of birds singing. It's these quiet, reflective moments that help me feel connected to the world around me. Coffee breaks have also become a treasured ritual. I no longer rush through them, but instead, I take my time, savoring the warmth of the cup and the stillness of the moment. These small pauses throughout the day allow me to reset and recharge. And, of course, playing with my grandchildren has become one of my greatest sources of joy. Whether we're running around the yard or simply sitting together, laughing and talking, those moments remind me how precious time with family is. It's not about extravagant trips or lavish experiences. It's about the simple connections and little moments that fill my heart with happiness. These small joys may seem insignificant in the grand scheme of things, but they've become the foundation of my happiness. They remind me that life is rich and meaningful, not because of what we accumulate, but because of the moments we experience and the people we share them with. Thank you for sticking with us through these powerful lessons on living a fulfilling, vibrant life in your later years. We've covered so much, from the importance of spending money on experiences instead of possessions to the value of staying active, building meaningful relationships, and even finding joy in the simplest moments. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's one thing you've learned today that you're excited to bring into your own life? Whether it's about maintaining a regular sleep schedule, starting a new hobby, or cherishing the small joys, I'd love to know what stood out the most to you. Please leave a comment below and share one thing you plan to practice from today's video. If you enjoyed this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss out on more inspiring content like this. Your support means the world to me, and it helps me continue to create content that brings value to you. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.